The sun may be setting, but the day is far from over. 8 medieval armies ready to meet in battle. This is a 4v4 and it's so crazy. It's so chaotic. You've got all these troops on the battlefield. Infantry running all over the place, colliding with other infantry. Arrows and bolts flying through the sky. Cav running around the flank. Generals dying left and right. This is a great example of a good old Medieval 2 massive battle, and I cannot wait to watch this one with you guys. I am so excited. Now, this battle is super chaotic, so I'm going to do the best I can to capture it all. I'm probably going to miss a couple things here and there, but I will be using slow motion. I'll zoom out and try to analyze the battlefield, get a bigger picture of the battle. But don't worry, we will get a ton of close-ups. I will make sure of that. So sit back, get some snacks. I know this isn't exactly a long battle, but it's definitely snack worthy. Snacks and drinks, just eat them fast because this battle is lightning fast. It's just a mega epic rush in the center. It is so great, so chaotic. So what we're going to do is go over the army comps super fast because there's 8 armies and I really don't want that to take up a whole bunch of time because it can get pretty boring looking at the army comps. I do have the army comps written in the description, so if you want to look at them in more detail. Also, I'll have an image of the army comps, so hopefully that makes it very clear. So let's go ahead, get started with the first team. We'll start with Spain here, commanded by Frederick, V.O.D. Frederick. He is bringing a nice Spanish army, conquistadors, pikemen, some heavy cav, mounted conquistadors, Chivalric Knights, and Pavise crossbowmen for his skirmish force. His ally over here is Scipio 14, and he's commanding Denmark. He's got some peasants in the front. He's got some Chivalric Knights, dismounted Chivalric Knights, some dismounted huscarls, and he has some Feudal Knights in the back. And this is obviously a rush build. Some Chivalric Knights, mounted Chivalric Knights, and some Knights Hospitaller in the very back. The next army is Venice, commanded by TheIronPrice. He has a massive line of infantry. You've got Venitian Heavy Infantry, you have dismounted Feudal Knights, and I believe some broken lances at the end over here. No, it keeps going. Wow, that is intense. Look at that line. And then he's got less cav. He's got Knights Hospitaller. He has 2 units of Strads, and he has a general to protect his flanks. The final army for this team is France, commanded by Drink 1. He has some Scots Guard for his archer force. He has some Feudal Knights and some dismounted Noble Knights in the back. More Feudal Knights. And then he's got the Lancers. I believe this player is a little bit new because usually more experienced players do not bring the Lancers because they're not very cost effective. They're very pricey. And he has some mounted sergeants, and his general is in a Noble Knight unit. Let's go ahead and check out the second team now. We'll start with Portugal, commanded by Spartan Quap. He's got some Pavise crossbows in the front. He's got some Ogmagavars, the Javi unit. He's got some General's Bodyguard. A lot of his troops are hidden, but it seems like he has like Conquistadors and Feudal Knights. You can see his army on the screen right now. Let's move on to Scotland. That's kind of in the center here. Scotland, commanded by King Kea. He's got some Highland archers, some pikemen, classic Scottish army, some Gallaglyke, and his cav over here. It looks like mostly Knights Templar. Very cool. Very awesome. I can't wait to see the Scots in action. The next army, is this the last army? No, second to last army. We have the Byzantine Empire, commanded by Hero Marine, and he has some Trebizond archers for his skirmish force. He has some Byzantine Guard archers. He's got the dismounted Byzantine Lancers, and I assume some Latin Con for his cav. He's got mounted Latin Con, so he's bringing a couple units, actually a lot of units of mounted Latin Con, and he has some General's Bodyguard here. So that is his army in a nutshell. The final army we're going to look at is the Papal States, commanded by Tom P. He has dismounted broken lances, some men-at-arms, Feudal Knights, more broken lances, some Papal Guard, which look awesome. So he's bringing a ton of infantry, not exactly elite infantry, but a lot. And he has some Pavise crossbows, some Knights Templar, and Knights Hospitaller. Alright guys, those are the armies. Are you ready for this fight? It begins right here with the Venetians. Let us begin. Oh yes, this epic battle between 8 armies, 2 teams, will soon begin. And here we go. It starts off with a very vicious cav charge. Venice sending down his Knights Hospitaller to try to get some kills on the archers. Let's see how this goes. Let's see if he can weaken the archer force, which would be really helpful against his rush build. And then if we look over here, Venice sending in his strats, so he's also sending in the strats. He's actually going to get a charge off here. Nice, a good charge into the archers. And he's just barely going to get the archers there, but not really. And then he's going to charge his pikes. Oh no, he's cav into those pikes, but they like moved up the pikes at the last second, so he got a really good charge there. Also, he sent one of his cav units, one of his strads, to kill some of the Trebizond archers, but the strads were utterly destroyed right there. Byzantine Empire now sending in his infantry. He's lining them up, getting them ready. He's got his Latincon charging out. Looks like they're going for the Venetians, and Venice is storming in his heavy Venetian infantry. There they go. They're colliding with the pikes. Oh, and this is just the very beginning, ladies and gentlemen, the very beginning. So the Feudal Knights are engaged in melee against most of the pikes in the Scottish Gallic. Portugal actually has some Knights of Santiago that he's sending over this way. And this is just great teamwork right here. He's going to get a fantastic charge. Watch this, guys. This is really, really nasty and brutal. Into the broken lances. Oh, dear Lord. That is definitely contact with the barrier there. That is a slaughter fest, and they break with 7 men left in the unit. So that's just like, you know, just a little bump of, you know, just a little charge. Good teamwork there. It's really awesome. All right, so this is where we need to do some slow-mo just to analyze the battle. So we're going 0.1 speed. Venice is not really having a good time so far. He's having a tough time breaking through the Scottish forces, even though Scotland brought some archers. So even though Venice has more infantry, Scotland is doing a great job of containing him in this fight. Now if we head over this way, we've got a nice cav reserve force from Scotland. I love that nice blue color. There goes the Byzantine general. It looks like he dies to the hands of the Danish. And there's a little bit of a cav brawl going on. We've got the Gallic mixed into the fight, which is really good for Scotland. The Byzantine Empire sending in their Latincon, and Denmark helping out Spain. There goes the next general. Scotland's general actually dies to the hands of the Venetians. If we look at this fight, the Byzantine Empire pushing through, taking on the Dismounted huscarls and the Chivalric Knights. We must believe in the boys in purple, but this is a nice, beautiful battle right here. This is really cool, this like uphill battle. The archers are in the back firing. He's got some Byzantine guard archers, and Spain is about to do a, actually, you know what, his cav just kind of standing there, but Spain is like forcing all of his men. Okay, so it looks like he's about to charge in and help out Denmark in this battle, but the Papal States are climbing up this massive hill. They're trying to quickly support their allies. He's got his cav coming over this way to try to slow down the Chivalric Knights of Spain and Denmark. So, all right, let's go back to normal speed now. Oh, let's quickly look over here. This is where I noticed that France is probably a newer player. We're not going to pay too much attention to this engagement because he really blobs up his infantry, and Portugal really just abuses, you know, takes advantage of that. So let's head back to this Venetian fight, back to normal speed. My God, this is just an intense commentary. Just trying to, you know, get everything in. Here comes the cav charge into the pikes. So he's trying to break the will of the Scottish. Even after losing their general, they're going to keep fighting. And Venice is just massively breaking here. We have some calves storming into the flank. And let's get a nice bird's eye view here. Scotland is victorious, and it looks like I think that's the Venetian general dying to the hands of the Gallic. Spain is now headed over. Spain is trying to help Venice, but it's a bit too late, and he's trying to catch up to the Knights Templar of Scotland. So the battle over here simmers down a little bit. I believe Venice admits defeat. We even have some Byzantine cav over here, all the way over here. That's insane. So this is where the battle starts to concentrate over on this side. So let's do some slow motion. Not exactly super slow, but just to get a good idea what's happening. So Papal States are finally getting most of their army in the position up here. but they're a little too late. The Byzantine Empire is getting slaughtered by Denmark, mostly in this general area, and Spain is pushing up their pikes right here, and he's pushing his cav into the Byzantine Guard. I hope I'm not moving my camera around too much. I just want to try to, you know, I'm trying to capture everything, but I'll be sure to go a little bit slower with the camera movement. But the pikes are forcing their way up this hill. It looks like they're going to prepare to fight off the Papal States here. So let's continue this brawl in normal speed. So the Papal States, they need to thin out their troops. They're a little too thick. They're a little too grouped up. And again, they can use that against them. And look at that. The Knights Hospitaller for Denmark going ham against these dismounted broken lances. I don't know if they're actually going to win. But look at this angry push from the dismounted conquistadors. Just trying to surround. Yeah, he's obviously trying to get around the flanks. And if we get a bird's eye view of this fight, Spain is doing a great job on containing the Papal States. And the Byzantine Empire is just, he's cut off. He's cut off from reinforcements. And these troops over here are going to get slaughtered by Denmark. He's trying to send in some Byzantine lancers, but they break instantly from the fight. And here we go. Papal States epic last stand right here. And this is where we're going to really get some nice close-ups. Let me just quickly, really fast, guys, because I want to show you what's going on the other side of this battle. Let me, oh, wrong area. Here we go. So, France, as you can tell, he grouped up his entire infantry force. And Portugal is just holding them back with limited infantry, and he's doing cycle charges with the Knights of Santiago. I just felt like this wasn't super entertaining, so we're not going to focus too much on that. We're rather going to go to this fight here, because it's just so intense. And I just love watching the infantry fight here and seeing those pikes in the background. You see those Spanish pikes? I love it. Here they go. They're about to join the fight. And the general is dead. I believe that is the French general. Oh my god. Look at all the Spanish pour in. Papal States desperately holding on, hoping that Portugal can quickly send over some troops and help them. Even the crossbows are stuck in melee. And there goes the Spanish general. So that's actually a big loss right there, because Spain has a very healthy army. So we've seen a lot of generals die so far. Look at this just like blob of infantry. So many different cultures clashing. We've got the Papal States general just charging his way through, using brute force to try to beat down his enemy. And here's a bird's eye view of the engagement. Looks like Scotland has a couple forces that he's trying to, you know, go to the backs of the armies over here. He's trying to get some kills, you know, run down the archers. He's got some noble swordsmen killing the Pavise crossbows, which is a pretty good idea. Taking out archers can make an army very one-dimensional. And Scotland, I don't think he's going to have enough troops to do enough damage. I believe his forces are going to break here fairly quickly. But if you look at the... actually, you know what? I'm hiding the balance of power, but the balance of power right now is even. Fairly even. So there we go. The Papal States just cannot handle the numbers from Spain and Denmark. So they're going to quickly break from that fight. And look at all the troops breaking. These are healthy units that could have been used in the fight, but they just got overwhelmed. And they lost their stomach to fight. And there we go. Spain has a very healthy army, but they lack a general, so their morale could be a little iffy. And he's still running down the Scottish here. The noble swordsmen who are wavering, and they are now breaking. And what do we got over here? I mean, we just got stuff all over the place. Byzantine Empire holding with his Byzantine Guard archers. Was that battle just not just like, it's like art. It's like medieval vomiting. Like, it's just like, it's intense. That was great. With the Byzantine archers stuck in melee against the dismounted Chivalric Knights of Denmark. Looks like he's not too interested in fighting them, so he's gonna run away. Maybe he's gonna let the Cav do all the hard work. Byzantine Empire, he still has some forces like returning to the fight, but I don't think it's gonna like be game changing or anything like that. And now it's really down to Portugal, which pretty much at this point has a entire army healthy, ready to go. He did lose some infantry in that fight against France, but he easily just slaughtered France because he just, you know, charged in all his units into one area. So what we're going to do now, guys, is fast forward a little bit, let the army set up, let them cool down, prepare for battle. And I think Spain and Denmark is what's left of the other team, and it's Scotland and Portugal over here. Let's see, what else is over here? Is there any Venetians? Is there... No, there's no Venetians. Who else was on their team? We've got Denmark. I can't even keep track of all the different armies. Denmark, Spain, and... Okay, so yeah, it's just Denmark and Spain that's left over here. And he's moving, it looks like he's moving some of his forces this way. He's got his crossbows headed this way. I think he doesn't want to, you know, face this hill head on. But usually in battles like this, when there's like a battle after the first battle, the army that's healthier usually is more aggressive, and they, you know, try to fight them quickly. Looks like Spain and Denmark are splitting up a little bit. I think they want to, you know, make a little Portuguese sandwich. Because Denmark is headed this way. They're winded. You know, they're not super tired, but they're kind of ready. And then Spain is concentrating his forces on this flank. So they're definitely going to hit hard on two different flanks. Now, is this game over for Portugal? Not yet. Not yet. If he's really good with this Cav and he can get some good hammer and anvil, remember, Spain has no general. So one good flanking charge could break the whole army, just like a massive chain route. So if he's smart with his Cav, anything is possible. Oh geez, Denmark's going up on this hill. So pretty soon he's gonna set up. There's a little skirmish going on. I guess we'll do normal speed now to watch this epic skirmish. The Portuguese may be outnumbered, but they have the heart to keep fighting. And here we go. Spain is charging forward. Look at those pikes moving up very quickly. They look awesome. Move, men, move. Let's end this battle once and for all. Oh, the Pavise hitting hard. And the pikemen. And we've got some Cavs storming in, going after the Almogavars, which is not, you know, a big loss. But this is Portugal's opportunity to kill the Spanish Cav. But he needs to be careful because it looks like he's sending over some pikes. There we go. We've got infantry charging in before they can get into pike formation. We have the Dismounted Conquistadors helping out their pikes. Oh no, the swordsman militia breaking really, really fast. He's quickly trying to set up battle lines this way against Denmark. You know, he's forming a little bit of a noob box, but Denmark is trying to breach through the little gaps between the infantry. And Portugal is desperately just trying to contain the enemy. Let's get another zoom out here. Look at that. See how he formed this like little circle? But it's just too much. They have too much Cav. Denmark. Oh, they killed the general though. So they're out of generals. But will it be enough? Probably not. There's just too much infantry. I don't know. There's some breakage going on. There's a massive chain route from Denmark. Can they turn this around? All they need now is Spain to break. Portugal needs to keep his general alive. Oh, I don't know. Denmark still has some Chivalric Knights they're sending in. And they're fighting like Pavise crossbows, and they're getting flanked by Cav. A great fight though. Definitely give credit to Portugal putting up a wonderful battle. And for a split second, I thought he could have turned this battle around. Here comes Portugal sending in his missile Cav. Just getting some last minute kills. And that's going to be it for the battle, guys. I hope you enjoyed this very chaotic 4v4. It was very fast, but very intense. And hopefully you finished your snack by now. If not, that's okay. You still have some time. And Spain is just cleaning up the rest. And look at that. They're storming through the forest. Looks like we got a couple troops here. Swordsman, militia. They just now break. I don't really see what's left for Portugal. I think that's it. Look at the carnage that took place in this battlefield. Look at all the dead troops. You see that, guys? All those tiny virtual dead medieval soldiers on the battlefield. And finally, the day can finally end after a horrible slaughter. What is left, though? What's going on? Oh, he's got some troops here. Feudal Knights. Excuse me. What do you expect from Feudal Knights? They don't fight. They fight to the very end. Alright, we'll just fast forward. Here we go. And there we are. So here's the results. Spain did a really, really good job. He slaughtered Papal States, you know, keeping most of his army intact. And later he slaughtered Portugal. Denmark, excuse me, there's a tickle in my throat. Denmark got 862 kills. And the Iron Prize getting 593, and France only getting 332. Portugal getting 1,285 kills. He did a great job against France, and the rest of his allies got around 300, 500 kills. So good game to all players. It was really, really fun to watch. This was sent in by Frederick, and he got, let's see, who got the most kills? I believe 163 by his conquistadors. So mounted conquistadors, really, really cool. Awesome. So I hope you enjoyed this battle, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.